Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back with another important topic today. And again, we are going to be talking about the Muhurata system, where we try to determine as to what is an auspicious time which we want to choose for undertaking an important event of our life, be it a marriage, or buying a property, and as little as buying a car, say for example. So we use these tools from Vedic astrology to determine what's the best time for us to undertake any important event of our life. So we did discuss about Tarabala, where we, just to give you a quick recap on my earlier videos, please refer to those if you've not seen those. So we discussed about Tarabala, where we find out an auspicious time, or the Muhurta, based on the positioning of the planet moon in a particular nakshatra, and compare it with the nakshatra what was at the time of birth, meaning which nakshatra moon was placed at the time of birth. And then we did discuss in one of the videos about Chandrabala, which is the strength of the moon. When moon gets strong, it gives auspicious results. So we choose the Muhurta, or the auspicious day, based on what Rashi you were born in, meaning what was the moon sign, or where moon was placed in your zodiac sign, in a particular zodiac sign rather, at the time of your birth, and compare it with the moon's placement in a zodiac sign on the day where you want to undertake that important event of your life. So that concept was Chandrabala, and based on Chandrabala we determine what's a lucky day for you. And of course there are several other tools, and we're not even there are the Dasha system, the Horas, the Rahu column, which is not auspicious, the Yama column, which is not an auspicious time. So there are various tools where we pretty much decide on which day and what hour of the day is a good time for starting an important event. Today we'll be talking about the Panchaka system. So if you guys, you can see on the screen, it is Panchak. Panchaka. That's a system where Panch means 5. So the Panchaka system is a system which we'll be discussing today, as to determine what's an auspicious day to start an important event of our lives. Of course, this is not going to give us the hourly time, but a day, pretty much. An hour, of course, we can determine through the Horas, as we know that there are 24 Horas ruled by 7 planets in a day. So we find it through the Hora system, and take into mind the other aspects as well, that the Rahu column and the Yama column, so which are not auspicious. So how do we calculate Panchaka? And how do we calculate Panchaka and then determine as to what would be a lucky day for us? So it's pretty simple, actually. There are 5 factors. Actually 4 factors which we take into consideration. We first determine what tithi is it going to be, and people who are not familiar with tithi, please refer to my earlier videos. One of the video does explain about what a tithi is, and the video is called Tithi Pravesh, actually, so you'll understand what a tithi is. Tithi is basically we have 15 tithis in a Shukla Paksha, which is the waxing main phase, and then there are 15 tithis in the Krishna Paksha, which is the waning of the moon phase. So we have 15 when the moon is waxing until it reaches Purnima, which is full moon, and then it starts to wane until it reaches the moon is 0, it's Amavas. The moon just darkens completely and it's Amavas, and then it starts waxing again. So there are 15 plus 15, 30 tithis in that cycle. So we have to first determine what tithi is it going to be. Don't calculate the days, because in the Western system we just consider days, but tithi is pretty much synonymous with a Hindu day, as you can see. So what tithi is it? So if it's Pratham Tithi or Dvitiya Tithi, it's Ekadash, that's how it's mentioned in Sanskrit. So but you can just take the Western tithi as far as the first tithi, the second tithi. You can refer it to like through a Western number or a digit. So it could be the first tithi, second tithi, third tithi, fourth tithi. But you have to be very sure of the tithi. Don't go by the days. What day is it in the waxing moon and what day is it on the waning moon? Follow the Hindi or follow the Vedic calendar, which is the Panchanga. The Panchanga is going to give you what tithi is it going to be. And then, so that's one determining factor. So keep that, say for example, the seventh tithi, keep that number 7 separate. Now find out what day of the week it is. If it is Sunday, it's the first day, Monday, because the Vedic day starts from Sunday, not from Monday, as we follow in the West. In the West, we start our week from Monday, but no, the Vedic day starts from Sunday. So Sunday will be number 1, Monday will be number 2, Tuesday will be number 3, Wednesday will be number 4, so on. So that's how the number of days are calculated until it reaches the 7th day, which is the last day of the week, which is Saturday, and then again it starts. So Rahu and Ketu are excluded from this, meaning which the rulership of the days is given to the planets, just 7 planets, not Rahu and Ketu. So find out, say for example, it's a Tuesday, that important event which you want to undertake is going to be a Tuesday, then take into consideration number 3. So first we calculated what tithi it is, or we found out what tithi it is, so we keep it separate. Then we find out what day is it. So based on the day, we find out a number, like we just discussed. If it's Tuesday, it's number 3, we keep that number separate. The third is what nakshatra is it falling, because each nakshatra, actually one nakshatra, the moon actually stays in one nakshatra for approximately 1 day. We've already discussed that in our several videos. So that day will be falling under a particular nakshatra, and if it's a particular hour, just make sure the nakshatra does not change, because moon moves and jumps pretty quick, almost a day, it just moves to the next nakshatra. So just make sure, look at the time of that particular day, where you want to, or when you want to undertake that important event. Sometimes the nakshatra could change within that day itself, the day as per the Western calendar. So make sure you are sure, and that particular auspicious day, that particular time, what nakshatra moon is going to be in. So when we say, well, what nakshatra is falling, is generically we know that we're talking about the moon. Of course, the nakshatra is spread over the entire zodiac, and all the other planets are placed in some nakshatra or the other, but we are talking of moon. So find out what nakshatra moon is going to be on that day, and make sure you know that time, because you want to make sure that moon does not, in that day itself, does not jump to the next nakshatra. So we know that there are 27 nakshatras. So find out what number. If it's Ashwini, you take number 1. If it's Bharani, number 2, so on. You know that there are 27 nakshatra, and go in the same sequence and find out. So for example, if it's Bharani, take number 2 and keep that number separately. And then the fourth thing is find out in that Muhurata, or that auspicious day and time, what is the Lagna. So the Lagna chart is very easy to make. You know what time the event is going to happen, what day the event is going to happen. Create a chart and find out what the ascendant or the Lagna is. And we know that there are 12 zodiac signs. So if it's Pisces, we know it's number 12. If it's Aquarius, we know it's number 11. So say for example it's Aquarius, so on that particular day at that particular time, and at that particular place also, because the ascendants can change. So make sure you have the time, the place, the date where that event is going to be happening. So, and then note down what Lagna it falls in. Like I said, if it falls in Pisces, it's 12. If it falls in Taurus, it's 2. If it falls in, like Leo, it's 5. So that's how we know. So keep that number also separately. So we have found out the Tithi, number 1, what Tithi it is. Then we have found out what day of the week it is. So we know that if it's Monday it's 2, if it's Sunday it's 1. So we have taken that number and kept it separately. And then we have found out what nakshatra moon is in that particular time, particular day. So we take that and keep it separately. And then the final is, what is the number of the Lagna we just discussed. If it's Taurus, it's 2. If it's Gemini, it's 3. Cancer, 4. So on and so forth. And then we add these numbers, all the 4 numbers. And then we divide it by 9. So whatever is the remainder will actually indicate the results. So as you can see on the screen, the Mrityu Panchanga is when the remainder is 1. And Mrityu in Sanskrit means death. So that's a red flag right there. It's not very auspicious. If the remainder is number 2, or if the remainder is 2, it's Agni Panchaka. But did I say Panchanga on Mrityu? It is Panchaka. So the first Mrityu Panchaka is when it is the digit 1, the remainder is 1. Agni Panchaka is when the remainder is 2. And Agni in Sanskrit means fire. So you'll be getting an indication that there may be some kind of a problem related to fire. So that's not a very auspicious Muhurata, or a very auspicious time to start an important event. Say for example you're buying a car, the indication from this Agni Panchaka is that there could be a fire related to your car. Not necessarily it'll catch fire, but there is some kind of a problem. So try to avoid that time. Or if you're buying a house, or if you're starting a business and starting a new office, there could be danger from fire. So Agni Panchaka is when the remainder is 2, so try to avoid that. And then if the remainder is 4, as you can see on the screen, it is Raja Panchaka. That's also going to give bad results. I know Raja is not a very inauspicious word, but that's how it is named as per Vedic astrology, and it'll give bad results if the remainder is 4. Then there is Chora Panchaka when the remainder is 6, and that's also considered to give bad results. So avoid that if the Panchaka comes to number 6. And then finally there's Roga Panchaka. Roga, as we know, is it's a Sanskrit word for disease. Roga Panchaka. So it's giving an indication that it could be giving bad results or something related to disease. So say for example you're buying a house and the remainder is number 8, which is Roga Panchaka, then that house may not be very lucky for you as far as your health is concerned. It may give people who are residing in the house some kind of health issues. So try to avoid that if the Panchaka comes to a remainder of number 8. So what we did, we added the tithis, the weekday, the nakshatra, the lagna, and then we divided by 9. So whatever the remainder is, if it's 1, the remainder is 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8, as you can see on the screen. Just avoid it. Try to go for another Muhurata or another auspicious time and day. And of course, the remainder can only be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That could be the remainder after dividing it by 9. So the other remainders, which are 0, 3, 5, and 7, they are considered to be good. So make sure the remainder Panchaka is either 0 or 3 or 5 or 7, so you can go ahead. And if the Panchaka falls in the remainder of the number, or if the remainder comes as 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8, so just avoid it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video on finding an auspicious day for starting an important event of your life, just like we discussed about the Moonabala, or the Chandrabala rather, which is actually the strength of the moon, and the Tarabala, which is basically the strength of the nakshatra or the star. And this is another way of trying to find out an important and auspicious day to start an important event of your life. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will recommend, once again, like always, please subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will see you with an interesting topic very soon. Goodbye.